Just south of Geneva, Alabama, lies a beautiful creek called Double Bridges Creek. It's located just below Highway 52. The rivers and creeks in this area are not typically known for rapids, but there are a few sprinkled around, and when we find one, we love to check them out. This particular creek will empty out into the Choctawhatchee River and then run on down into the P River, Choctawhatchee River confluence, or what is known as the junction. Today we will take the kayak up this creek to see these rapids and then travel back down the Choctawhatchee River to the takeout point. And as you can see, the water levels on this creek are pretty low right now, but they're fairly ideal, I'd say. It's pretty clear because it hasn't rained in a while. So we're going to put in the kayak and we're going to probably go upstream a little bit and check out this creek, and then we're going to go back down into the Choctawhatchee, and we're going to ride that out down to Highway 2 in Florida at Pittman Creek Landing, and that's going to be my takeout point. All right, so we're off. We were going to go in and put in at the boat ramp down there by the junction, right at the junction, but since they're having the festival on the rivers today, they have those gates closed, and I'm not exactly sure if you can get in there another way or not. So we just came on down. There's another boat ramp outside those gates that runs off of this creek right here that I'm going up. So we put in there, and we're just going to check it out from here. Probably, I'm not sure what temperature it is today. Let's see, 78 degrees what it's showing. This little creek here is pretty strong current. I don't know how far I'll go up it. I believe, let me check this before I say this. But I believe that this is what they call Double Bridges Creek. Yeah, it's Double Bridges Creek. If you've never been to Geneva, Alabama, the Choctawhatchee River basically runs right along one side of Geneva, the city of Geneva. Geneva is located in Alabama. I don't know if I said that, but it's in South Alabama. And the Choctawhatchee River runs to the east side of Geneva, and the P River runs on the west side of it. So it's kind of surrounded by rivers, and in the past that's been some issues with flooding, but they do have a levee going all the way around it that they built. So hopefully that's going to help them in the long run. It has in the past, but it has been flooded. But Geneva is a beautiful little town in South Alabama, and this weekend they're actually having the festival on the rivers, which is down here where the P River and the Choctawhatchee confluence comes together. And they have lots of vendors, food vendors, crafts. It's your typical festival, I guess. Sometimes they'll have concerts and singers. Sometimes, sometimes it's pretty notable people. I remember years ago they had the band Sawyer Brown. Now they've had a lot of others since then that are notable, but personally I have never been to the Festival on the Rivers, so I can't really be your information giver on that. But one day I'm gonna go. I have been to the park down here where they have it at. It's Fowler Park, and it's a nice park. It's got it's got 2 boat ramps. Inside the park there's one, and then outside the fence there's another one. It's also home to one of the oldest trees in the United States. It's said to have been there before the founding of the United States. I believe they call it, I think that's the one they call it the Constitution Oak for some reason. I can't remember if that's the name for sure, but I know why they call it that. But it's a beautiful tree. And, they try to keep it in as good a shape as possible, and it's humongous. They have swings and places you can fish, picnic tables. Some people do their weddings out here. You know, all kinds of little events are held out here. I believe Trip Smith has his has had his rocket dock out here a couple of times. If you follow him, if you don't, check him out. So that's all I got to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say. So that must be the road out there. Not sure. It was a beautiful creek for sure. Oh, and this time I didn't forget to bring my bug spray. I got bug spray. Last time I got eat up. That was over on Wright's Creek. So if you hadn't seen that video, boy, that was a doozy. Lysol does work for a little while. We are almost to the highway at Double Bridges Creek goes underneath. It's Highway 52. So we're almost there, and that's where I want to turn around, and I'm going to turn around and go back towards Pittman Landing. But I believe there are a little bit of rapids, not much rapids, up here just past or just before you get to the bridge up here. And there's our little bit of rapids. I don't know if I'll be able to go through them upstream or not. I'm not sure. But that's it. So we do have rapids on the Choctawhatchee. Not much. At least in this area. But we do have them. There we go. Well, I went over the short side of the rapids and I kind of drug bottom. They're not quite deep enough for me on this boat. But it was still fun. Man, this sun has really gotten bright. Need some more clouds to come over and cool us down with some shade. Anyway, if you hadn't been to those springs there, I mean, not springs, if you haven't been to those rapids up it's almost at the bridge at 52, then you should check them out. They're pretty cool. So we've made it up almost to the bridge, so we've turned around at those rapids. I stayed there for a little bit checking those out, and so we're gonna start heading back downstream towards the Choctawhatchee River, because I've got to hit that and get on the move. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I've got to float down to over the state line into Florida to Pitt, the boat ramp down at Highway 2. There's a lot of people my age, or around my age, I'm in my 50s, that at a certain point in your life you may start having back pain or other issues, and a lot of people say, you know, they don't know if they can ride a kayak for very long, or at any time, due to the seating. There's different type seatings for these things, and you know, you should check those out before you buy one and try to find one that feels comfortable for you. This one in particular that I have, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has these straps on the side that'll let you adjust how far it lays back and how far it pulls straight. And I can tell you right now that if you keep those adjusted where you're in the L position, you know, where your back is sitting straight up, where you got good posture, that you'll be able to, or at least for me, you will be able to withstand a longer period of time out on a kayak and enjoy it more, which is what it's all about. You want to get out here and enjoy it. And you know, sure, you can get on a nicer, bigger boat that has bigger seating and more comfortable and a lot more room to move around, but you're not going to be able to go to the places that other people, I mean, if you're on a boat like a bigger boat, you're just not going to be able to go in places like this, because most of the time these little creeks that I go in are so low that these bigger boats just wouldn't, they're too deep. They wouldn't float. They'd drag bottom. So what I'm trying to say is you can probably find a kayak if you're still mobile, that you can actually get out and enjoy and paddle, you know. And if you have a place that you can go that they'll let you get in one and try it out, or I don't know around here where I'm at that they do that, but I have heard there are places that will let you do that. Or if you've got a friend that's got one and you wanted to check out their seats, you know, check it out with that friend and try to find something, because this is a big investment. It can be. You know, you can also buy kayaks on buy, sell, or trade off of Facebook. Just be very careful who you deal with. And, always meet in a safe area, and always check out the product before you exchange hands with the money. That's just what I wanted to say about that. We're going to float downstream now, and we're just going to kind of take it easy the rest of the day. So that's the other thing about kayaking. If you want to get some exercise in, paddle upstream, and you know, you got to come back downstream anyway, so paddle upstream for a while. When you get tired and you feel like you've got enough exercise in, just turn around and enjoy the ride back. That's really what it's all about, enjoying it, having a good time. Another cool thing about when you're floating down, if you're starting out and you're paddling upstream, you know, you're doing a lot of paddling. You're kind of constantly having to keep your speed up, so you may miss things, or you may not want to stop because, you know, you lose momentum. But on the way back down, you're floating downstream anyway, so you can come and look at these little things like this little waterfall here. It's not much. But it's something to look at. It is so peaceful out here. Hard to believe I'm less than half a mile from town. So there's the boat ramp I put in at. That comes into this Double Bridges Creek. And now we're going to go on past it and get out on the Choctawhatchee now. And we'll be on our way. Probably be a lot of boats on the river today, considering this festival's going on, and plus it's prime time to go fishing. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but you can probably hear them singing out there. I don't know if that'll get me a copyright strike or not, but that's going to be the festival on the rivers you can hear in the background. We have reached the confluence. What you're looking at now, straight ahead, is the P River, and what we're on right now is the Choctawhatchee. Water's almost identical. But this is where they come together at. I'm hoping that the combination of these two rivers together will speed me up a little bit. So if you need somewhere to camp for the night, say you're using a tent, these will make a good spot, you know, as long as there's not any rain coming. And then if you need something with some trees for hammock camping, there's plenty of areas along the banks that you can find for that as well. I'd say it's fair to say that the Choctawhatchee is back down to the levels that we all want it to be at. Oh man. I'm seeing fish jump over here. I never seem to catch them on the camera when they do it. I just hear them and turn my head. But that was probably a sturgeon, because they look pretty big. Them things look like dinosaurs. I want to go see what that little inlet right there is. Almost looks like steps coming down the side of it. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's steps. Does that not look like steps? Or a ladder? And I hear water. Like maybe a waterfall. I think we'll go in here and check this out. It looks like a spring. Let's see. And these steps used to be steps. I don't think they've been used in a while. Somebody carved them out. Did a real good job. Okay, so what I'm hearing, yeah, it's a waterfall. Oh man, this is knee deep. Ugh, in mud. I don't know if I can walk back here or not without burying myself. Very hard to walk on. Very soft mud. Holy moly. I'm trying not to fall. But it's pretty slick. So there's the water. Pretty, and you could probably go on further back, but that's a pretty big tree. Basically fell over and turned this little branch into a waterfall, kind of dammed it up. So that's as far as we're going to go. But that's what it looks like. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, what happens is these little springs, they're in the woods, you know, and all these leaves and stuff fall and fill up the bottom of the spring, and then sand mixes in with it, and then it's just a knee-deep mess when you walk through it till you get out of those leaves. So you got to be a little careful walking around in there, because you'll sink down to your knees. And see, pretty muddy. We'll get that off. We'll get back on the river. I just wanted to check it out. You know, I like to find new springs, and hopefully I like to find new springs, but there's plenty out here. Just got to know where to look. I don't know if this is a public boat ramp or not. Didn't know this boat ramp was even here. Well, I'm not making as good of time as I thought I would. I have stopped a few times, checking out some little inlets and stuff, just to see if I could find some springs or something that I might not have seen before. But the river's really not moving very fast. I expected it to be moving faster than this, but I guess it's gotten down to the point where it's probably about normal speed for the Choctawhatchee in this area. I don't even think I'm moving 5 miles an hour. Probably moving about 2 or 3. Probably about 3. And then you got the wind blowing in your face. It feels good, but it's slowing you down a little bit. Before, like right over there behind me, you might see in the woods there's a little inlet. I'd love to go check that out, but if I do, I'm not going to be able to get the boat in there. As I said, there's certainly more people on the water today, fishing and just getting out on the water. So I'm sitting out on this sandbar out here. This is a popular sandbar. I see people out here every time I come by in the summertime. Here's my favorite little fish house. Really cool. I have finally crossed the state line on the Choctawhatchee, and I am glad. I think I got another mile or two left to get to the boat ramp, and I'm getting passed constantly by bass boats and jet skis and you name it. So I have found, it seems like when one of those pass me and I'm going downstream and I'm paddling, it seems like, I don't know if it's because I'm riding the crest of those waves or what, but it seems like I'm paddling, like I'm moving faster a little bit. Anyway, we're in Florida again, thank the Lord. You can't really tell it, it looks just like Alabama, at least in this neck of the woods. But we're gonna keep heading towards that boat ramp. We'll be there soon. Looks like a cross between a houseboat and an RV. That right there is what you call an RV. I think I remember that on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Fish are jumping out here like crazy. There they go. See them? Isn't that cool? Look at them. Yeah, man, they're everywhere. So I hope y'all enjoyed this trip. It's gotten hot out here. It's about, oh, it's probably 85 degrees. I think the high is 84, 85. But we've made it back. About to pull into the boat ramp and get everything put up. I hope you enjoyed it, and can't wait to do this again and come back for more. Thanks for watching. Have a good week.